the fourth and final battle of the House of Lancaster, or House of Normandy, sorry. Scenario is Wilton. It's another one. Stephen's afraid to get captured now. He's going to try to run away. He's actually got the Angevins, who surprise him here, outnumbered. You get a basic force of horses. I think Stephen's horses in general. These are all good. These guys are BCs, which means other than the crown units, they're a little less. But my infantry with some veterans in it appears to be a better force than these levies with some veterans in them. Set up a little bit of freedom. Again, you've got the column that you're set up on. I kind of wish I had set up with wider flanking for Stephen's force, but I can move out of position and open up the center to bring that into play if I need to. So this one uses this weird cup, and at the end of every Angevin player turn, and they go second, I think. No, the Angevins go first. At the end of every Angevin player turn, you're going to draw one of these. If it's a suppression marker, it just gets put down. They're not going to be used in the scenario at all. If it's a bonus marker, if it's the first one, and neither side's going to have the flags in this scenario, it's also just added. The second bonus marker indicates a time change. The first time there's a time change, it shows up like this. Second time, it's like this. Third time, it's removed from the board and the game is over. Victory points are pretty standard. 2 points for horse and veteran, 1 point for levies and infantry, 1 point, 2 points for crown units, 1 point for every Blezevin units, which leaves his own map side in excess of any Angevin units that withdraw. Starting when we hit the second advancement of time, the first one's going to get us here, the second's going to get us here. Stephen can try to withdraw from the map. He can move his pink and red units off the map, but not the orange ones. They're his rear guard. And the Angevins can move any units off that same side of the map. They count as an extra movement point to get off the map. And if they exit, any of Stephen's forces that exit are worth 1 victory point unless they're matched by one of, who is it? Gloucester's in charge of the Angevins again here, I believe. You can't use a withdrawal move to get off the map for that. Once Stephen starts withdrawing units, these guys get +1 to their combat class. It looks to me like most of the advantages are on Stephen's side for this one, but we'll see. Is there more? There's like 6 cav in each of these wings. This wing's definitely weaker than that wing. He gets a bonus of combat class to this, and he's the only one who can collect victory points for leaving the map. The other side can only negate those victory points, which might work out to be about the same thing, but whatever. Into the markers. So neither one has the bonus marker, ever. So other than that, here's where it may be different. Stephen's allowed to issue 2 commands to one wing of his choice. The Angevins have a little better command. They can issue 3 commands, 2 to one wing and 1 to a second wing. But you don't have chits to support everything you want. So I guess you could do horsey and move combat, which isn't too bad. You're not going to get any double bonuses or anything, so like horsey flag isn't an option. That's indeed what I did. I only kind of screwed up one thing. I used the horse for I just did sort of flat across attacks. That's not the wisest way to do things. Here I ganged up 2 to 1 on each. We'll pull a counter. And we get that. That moves us over here. He's got the initiative bonus. You might be able to do some cool stuff with that. That's the other side of it. But I only get to attack with one of my 2 wings. So, given that, you know, I can do a move in combat, so it doesn't really hurt me too much. I don't think there's much else I'd want to do. There's no archers in this game. These guys can go into shield wall, that doesn't help. So yeah, cheat and get 2 combat modes this way. That seems like the wisest. And as is often the case in these, after I do my attacks, I want to throw my crown in and take another series, and I'll do the same damn thing. I'll just keep pounding into those same. Now I could make attacks here, but I'd rather wipe out or really damage one of the wings. Things didn't go too well at the end of that. We got a crown and they didn't. But you can see we haven't really managed to mop up the floor with the Angevins there. And now they get the capacity to move and fight in both wings if they so desire. That's the end of the first. I'm about to throw the initiative chit, but it's specified in the rules for this one. It's before the initiative, so it's not like the initiative cancels out the turn. It actually speeds up time. We get the first flag there, and I'm going to throw the initiative in just so that I can smack into Stephen's forces once again. I'll never get used to that Blizevin. That's strange to me. And we're going to do the same kind of thing, horse somewhere and move and fight the other. And it's essentially the same, except the horses have to pursue when you use the horsey chip. Otherwise, even with that initial mistake by the Angevins, I'm still doing pretty well. 4, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14 to 4, 6. What's on the board? Looks like we're doing pretty well there too. There's, yeah. Just in terms of how many fresh units we have, i.e. not injured. Remember, these both started off with 6 on each wing, so clearly that command advantage is quite impressive, actually. It didn't seem like it at first thought, but yeah, being able to pick your 2 to 1 attacks where you want them is a big deal, even though I didn't bother doing any on that first swing there. Of course, I threw my crown, drew another one of those suppression markers, which doesn't mean shit. Passed the chit again after a couple of attacks. Now we broke this up. It's pretty even, but and the points have kind of equalized a little bit, I guess. But we gave up the chit, and we're losing a lot of these. I took this wing because it's the stronger wing. I could have the more impact, but you can see I got a lot of exchanges. I was getting better dice rolls, I think, for the Angevins. I'm not sure. I can't tell you how much is dice roll and how much is the advantage of that command choice. I could, of course, double attack on this wing with the 4 units. That would be pretty impressive too. But I kind of want to wipe these guys out as well. So I will keep going on both. I don't particularly care about my advance here. Total is 22 to 18 right now. I can launch attacks. Well, I can do a move here, get these guys going forward for what they can do against that infantry. I don't know how much it is. That infantry is scarier than what I've got in it. Unless I can win the cav battle, it's not going to do me much good. But with the cav, I can do one of these then. Just leave this guy to his own devices, because there's less to kill there. Our cup was pulled out. I forgot to pull one for last turn. And now we get the marker there. These all go back in and get shaken back up. It's not the second daytime marker, so there's no chance to withdraw. Points still staying about even. The only real change is here. Yeah, we wiped out this wing, so that's about right. Now we're just a little bit ahead. And this is somewhat scary, but because that should be able to mop these guys up. But I can't just let them retreat because they'll be worth points there too. We managed to plow into some of these horse here in kind of an impressive way. Let's take a look at the points. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 28. 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 28. Do I have more units remaining? We're down to 1 cav on each side. I've got 4, 8 to 6. I don't think it's enough points that I can win the game, even if I withdraw my units and let him withdraw. So I feel like I got to keep fighting the battle, unlike what the victory conditions kind of note. Does that mean I throw the crown in and try to kill off this horse? Yeah, that doesn't seem like a bad idea. The red, they're both in. They both have their integrity because of the veteran units that are associated with it. So doing this seems like a wise move right now. That ended up being kind of a waste of an initiative. I only got to attack 1 unit. I pulled away with these others, but we'll see. Over here, movement there. I guess, I mean, it's all we have left, right? And this guy is not going to be able to engage with anything. He's too far away. Can't do a double movement or anything like that, so I'll put a sword over there, and we'll decide whether or not we want to use our crown. What do we want to schwack? Well, horsemen, let's take a look. Horsemen versus infantry is no penalty. Horsemen versus veterans is no penalty. So we'll use our horse action to run over here. We're going to have to charge in. If we do that, we'll fight that. We're a B with no bonuses, no penalties. This is not very good. Maybe we should just be running away. But we're not the running away type. We get a no effect. Okay, these guys get to move. I'll try to bring them up to face half the infantry. And then we get a combat with this. That's again a B versus an A with no bonuses. And there's a good chance something horrible happens on this, but again, it's a no effect. Pull a marker. And I mean, this could end almost right away. We get a flag. That's 1 flag. Do we want the crown? We could start swinging units into play and get an attack off on that part of the force. Make it very, very hard for the withdrawal to count for anything. I think so. Again, we handed away the crown. I don't know how much of an advantage we got. We got a single attack, but we did get to get our horsey away, which is kind of important because these guys can't go attack that horse. That's the big deal. What are they going to do? I have no clue. The points are actually dead even. These guys have 7 units, no, 6 units, and there's 7 units here. So we could actually get like a 1 point. Oh, no, I got a 7th unit there. Yeah, so there's nothing, there's no way I could get a victory guaranteed to me by pulling off the board. Assuming I could pull off the board, which I can't quite yet. And the other problem is this unit, if it gets killed, would be a serious problem. So I can't really leave the field either. Not that I have the option yet, but the question was, well, what happens if I want to bring him into play? I think no matter what I want to do is this. These guys are just kind of hard to combat right now. We spend the command shit for a couple more attacks. You got to take those double turns no matter what. So we're going to sweep this in and keep trying to kill things. This is a crown, so it's worth a lot of points. And just hope for the best here right now. I've been moving the horse because the horse isn't particularly good at chopping anything down except levies, and these are infantry, they're not levies. So that single horse alone is taking a big risk, and it's a crown horse. I don't want to lose those points. Last chit again this time, but with the attack advantage here. And we gotta wipe those out. I mean, that's all there is to it. This whole withdrawal thing, it's just not happening. Maybe because it's always coming down to the last chit before it comes out. But I think more because the fact that this wing got wiped out largely means I'm not going to have any real combat advantage. That's just points waiting to get killed. And Steven spends the crown again to continue pushing these guys. I think the points are so far in Steven's advantage now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 16, 20, 21, 25, 27, 29, 31, 33. Whoa, Jesus, I can't count. 33, let's recount this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 28, 29, 30, 31, 33. Wow, it's just about even now. Yeah, so here's the thing though. Once night falls, if I've wiped out the Angevins, I can just withdraw with everything. So it's pretty clear I'm going to win even if the points are pretty close in terms of because I started with more value. And I've tied these guys down so they can't do a whole hell of a lot. I think the question comes down to, hey, can we get lucky and kill something off of value? And it just does not look happy. Something I kind of like, we charged in with the horse, attacked, and then ran away using the movement. I'm not sure if they can withdraw with regular movement though. They may only be able to withdraw with the horsey action. That seems, in which case I'll be stuck in combat. Yeah, I'm afraid that's the case. Thought I was doing something clever there, but I think only if you use the horsey action, so he's still stuck there. I didn't really have something to do with my second action. I really don't want to attack with the horses. I want to attack with these veterans here. Veteran versus infantry is a 0. I get a bonus there of -1 on a B quality unit. And a 3 on a B is probably defender retreat, which he can actually survive. If I want to bring this into play, I don't know. I mean, I'm just getting, probably not, because I want the better odds. Great then. All right, that means I'm gonna draw a chit, which we know what it is. It's this one. We put these back in because the game could end at any point. If it ends soon, we might end up with a draw out of it. If it ends later, we might be in trouble. And we'll horsey move combat this way. The horse wants to land an attack. I'd like to land an attack on that unit. Horse versus veteran I think is 0 just like it is versus infantry. I get no real bonuses here, but there's more points. So it's a B at even. And a 7 is just an attack or retreat. That's not terrible, but it doesn't give us what we want over here. This is really the only unit I can double team. So we'll hit that. And veterans attacking, doesn't matter what we're attacking. Infantry, that's a 0, I believe. No, it's a -1. I've been counting that correctly. With another -1, so it's a -2. And a 1 on a B is, we get a kill. Do we want to move forward and force him into a position where he's fighting? Yeah, because otherwise he can go harass my horse, I guess. I don't know. I forgot to spend this over. And we pull our first chip. Made the decision to blow the crown again in order to get a second attack here. The first one just wiped out our own unit and did some damage, but the second one we didn't manage to wipe out this. If we'd wiped this out, it would have caused this wing to disintegrate because it doesn't have a veteran nearby. So it seemed like a good idea, but now we're open to attacks, you know, from their mighty whole force, whatever that means. And it doesn't mean much. I mean, I could go whack into this levy, right? Heavy horse against a levy is -1. I got some better odds with that, but none of it looks terribly good. Okay, well, one of the problems we have, I just did my first action, I might be using the crown, because it generally seems like a good idea, but I can't get a good set of attacks off. A part of the problem is the veteran unit, which gets a better table here, is a lower combat class, so these levies are going to take first crack. And so I'm attacking with levy Bs instead of veteran Cs, and that's kind of even. It doesn't really help me terribly much. I'll probably do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to spend this because giving the other guy the edge makes things just worse. I guess to here. Do I want to hit these veterans? Heavy horse against veterans. That's a 0. Let's take our shot at that. I think my best chance is just... Oh, these have not moved yet. Heavy horse. And I can't slip around anything better. So yeah, heavy horse against the veteran at a 0. The best I can hope for is luck at this point, I think. And there is some luck for me. That's a defender loss. That is not going to wipe out this wing unless I kill another unit, because there's 2 units that are, you know, within range. But now I can do my movement in combat, and we'll do this and hope for the best. Veteran against infantry is a veteran C at -1. And that's not good. That's an attack or retreat. It's not horrible. And then here we have a levy versus an infantry. That's not good. That's +1, but we're B quality, and if we can kill the infantry, that wipes out his line, so it's worth it. What did we say? We were at +1? Yeah, that's not going to be good. And we pull it shit. Maybe over before any of that matters, though. And before Angevins get to use the crown, they killed off the horse. That's probably enough. And then they drew a flag. So we're probably about done there. Let's count the points. I mean, that's the end of the battle. We didn't go all the way to the end this time. So we just do a quick count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 20, 21, 23, 25, 27, 29, 33, 37. Let's see if we can remember that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23, 27, 29, 31, 33, 35, 39. So I think our Angevins have won by a slight amount. And it really came down to this last horse was the swing thing. It was a risky attack. Could have gone badly for us, but it went okay. Yeah, like a lot of these, I don't feel like you learn a whole hell of a lot about anything. It's just a way to push some pieces around in a kind of military fashion. They can be real nail biters as games, but beyond that, that's pretty much what you're hoping for here. They don't feel completely unrealistic or anything. It's just they're not detailed enough for you to really make a judgment one way or another. Usually what you find that looks really, really horrible and wrong, and there are a few things in this that feel kind of weird, but what you look at that looks really, really wrong is when games go into detail. And if you abstract a game enough, and I feel like this one does, throw enough luck in, which this one certainly has. So Ancient Battles Deluxe, one of the problems with that is you have a little bit too much control. So, you know, good kind of beer and pretzel-y type. Smack some pieces together, whack them around. Feels a little bit like maybe Titan Combat or something like that. But, you know, it can give you a kick. I'll come back with a review, although I've probably said most of what I have to say right there, honestly.